Welcome to Open for Business! Mapapanood nyo rin ang programang OFB sa Facebook at YouTube. Mag-like at mag-subscribe sa aming social media at Net25 TV. I am Cesar Vallejos. Welcome to Open for Business. Samahan ninyo kaming alamin ang kalagayan ng turismo dito sa Israel, ang kanilang mga bagong pakulo at pakinggan ang imbitasyon sa ating mga kababayan na bisitahin ang kanilang bansa. Aalamin din natin ang diskarte ng tourism industry at businesses dito sa Israel na maaaring gawin sa Pilipinas, lalo na't ang pandemya ay hindi pa tuluyang natatapos. Lahat ng yan ay para masiguro nating saan man tayo naroon sa mundo, tayo ay laging open for business. Hindi na raw problema ng tourism industry sa Israel ang COVID-19 pandemic. In fact, simula noong March 2022, binuksan na muli ang international tourists ng bansa. Kahit hindi bakunado, basta dumaan sa COVID testing, pwedeng-pwede nang makalibot sa kanilang tourist destinations. Ayon sa Israeli tourism authorities, hindi lang basta safe ang kanilang bansa, kundi committed din sa pagtanggap ng mga bisita. Let's find out some of Israel's best practices when it comes to tourism, as it not only boasts its unique, historic, and iconic landmarks, but its hospitality sector as well. And we are now here at the Dead Sea. All this in this episode of Open for Business.
This program is supported by Sierra Eye Center Plus and Sierra Health Diagnostic Center and Multi-Specialty Clinic. Quality and affordable healthcare for all.
Kapag mali ang pintura, tubig, tatapos, pader, maglulubog, pagtingin sa pintor, sasama. Dapat AquaGuard Elastomeric Waterproofing Paint. Pinturang elastiko. Sa bawat pahid, pader ay selyado,
Philippine Sports Stadium lights up once again for the biggest musical event of the season. We're bringing back the excitement, the loud cheers, and the electrifying music. Featuring powerhouse performances from Verse 1, Aya de Leon, Bini, Calista, Christoph Someru, December Avenue, Dion, Glock 9, Magnus Haven, Matthias, and the Itchy Worms. Summer Blast 2022, hosted by Bea Pinene, Maureen Shrivers, and Empoy Marquez. Don't miss the Grand Summer Musical Spectacle, Part 1 on June 4 and Part 2 on June 5, 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. right here on Net25.
Ang morning show na always nagbibigay ng ngiti at saya sa bawat kada all over the world. Tara na't ma-inspire at ma-amaze sa kwento ng mga bawat kada na nagwagi sa anumang hamon at pagsubok ng buhay. Itago na mga remote control at tumambay lang dito sa paborito niyong barkada sa umaga, ang Kada Umaga! Dahil kayo ang bida dito.
Masada is a natural fortress in the middle of the desert. It is one of the winter palaces of Hero the Great. Pinaniniwala ang dito matatagpuan ang mga nalabi sa mga nagrebeldeng Israelita laban sa mga Romano. Masada is also a symbol of the ancient kingdom of Israel. It was built as a palace complex in the classical style of the early Roman Empire. The kibbutz is a communal farm and the foundation of contemporary Israel, and we are in one of them. It is called Kalia. It was built in 1975. Currently, there are 254 kibbutz in the country, and they do things here like agriculture, value tourism, and they're very sustainable with their solar power. Out of nothing in the center of the desert, Israel continues to build kibbutz, one of the most fascinating contributions to the society.
This kibbutz is very new, because the oldest kibbutz in Israel, they start in the 20, 30, something like this. The oldest kibbutz started, I think it's Ganya, and it started in 1904. Oh, so Kalia, it's a new kibbutz, okay?
The course of life of young people,
Of young
you know, like I explained to you about the army, they go
Yes,
to the army, and after the army, and they go on a big trip abroad, and
Yes.
when they come back, they have to decide what to do with
Yes.
their lives.
So me and my wife was the first child of the kibbutz. They finish everything and they come back to the kibbutz. And all the members was to say, wow, what's going on with what we do with you? Because they don't know me. They know my wife, but for me, I was stranger here, okay?
The kibbutz in the old times, when they started like, you know, with the pioneers who lived together.
Yes.
They were influenced by the communist idea, and there was very socialist, and they lived together as a cooperative and a commune. Little by little, as Israel became bigger and more secure and more modern, the kibbutz had to adopt their ways, okay? And then they started privatizing. So not everything was free anymore, yeah, and subsidized by the government, but people had to bring money, but still. Do you know what a gated community is? Like in the States, it's very common. In America, people live together, they have values together, they do the holidays together, and you pay something for the maintenance of everything, for the safety net.
So it's like it's like an exclusive community.
Yes, in a way, and you have a reception committee. So if somebody wants to join a kibbutz, he has to go through a certain committee. First of all, they have to be young people who can contribute.
Yes.
It can't be, you know, just old people who want to retire in a kibbutz because it's beautiful and yeah, no. Had to be people who first share the values and can, you know, and thinks about the collective and not just their house. Secondly, have children, contribute to the whole community.
But how do they select the members of the kibbutz? How, like, are there specific, is there a criteria?
Yes. First
What
of
are
all,
these?
you must to be a young family with the small children. We need the children for the
Continuity.
of the education system.
It must be a young family.
Yes.
What else? What about your income status? Will they ask you what is your income status or?
No,
That's not
okay.
an issue. That's not
Okay.
an issue. It's more your values and your ability to contribute.
What about skills? They ask you.
You know, we prefer people with skills, but this is not the main this is not the main thing, okay? The main thing, you don't be lazy.
Okay, yeah.
You want to work. You
Yes.
want to
Volunteer. in all
volunteer.
kinds of committees.
This is the most important thing. This
Okay.
picture was taken photo in 1976, 1 year after the kibbutz started. It was nothing.
In the middle of nowhere.
We are standing actually here.
Oh, wow.
Here. Okay.
Wow.
They started with 22 members.
Mhm.
Okay, and now we have 500. Okay,
But do you somehow limit it to that number?
what for 500?
500?
No,
or
don't limit
it
it.
can grow.
We still
Taking people.
taking people.
Okay.
But I think this picture and what you see outside is the essence of the pioneering of Israel. This is the contemporary Israel all about. It's blooming the desert, it's coming
Yes.
back to the biblical land and building it up. And I mean, you see the picture, you see the kids here, and you see what's outside. Yeah. So
All the people that you see now, they are still living in the kibbutz. The oldest man in the kibbutz is 69 years old.
Oh,
that's
still
good.
young. Yeah, still young.
Yeah.
As young
This
as
is
I
the
am.
father of my wife.
Once you belong to a kibbutz, can you also decide to get out of it?
Yes.
my husband did. I married a guy from a kibbutz, okay? And when we got to our 40s, you know, we've decided if we want to make it outside, it's time to leave. So sure, we left. He got some money from the kibbutz to start him off, all right? And sure,
But the problem is that you lose all
the rights.
The rights.
Like all the years that you were living in the kibbutz, it adds up to sort of pension. It's not really a pension,
Yes.
but sort of pension. You lose it. So what happens with the young people today? Many times, you know, after they finish the army and they go to South America or India and clear their head from the army, and then they come back and they said to the kibbutz, you know what, I want to check what I want to do. So they give them 1 year to go out. They're still a member of the kibbutz, but they keep all their rights, and for 1 year they can live in Tel Aviv or wherever, and then decide if they want to continue being a member of the kibbutz or not.
For the kibbutz all over Israel, are there specific laws, rules that you practice that are the same?
No.
So, or each kibbutz has its own rules, regulations?
The rules, it's like Israeli rules.
They're
like
citizens like
everybody.
everybody else. They have the same obligations, the same rights.
Yes. No, but we have duties that belong to the kibbutz, you know. I need, you know, every holiday, someone is the manager of the holiday. You need to organize everything, okay? We have a list, okay? I know next year in Independence Day, I need to organize all the holiday. Not by myself, but I need to be the manager. Okay, every
Guarding, for
guarding,
example,
yes.
guarding in the gates.
Yes.
Which, for security reason, it's so my sister lives in a kibbutz in Hatzarim, and she thought, oh, today I have to sit in the gate and I have my guarding duty. So they have their internal duties, but it's
In the past, it was a lot of duty. You need to duty of washing dishes. You have duty to go to the cows, to milk the cows.
What's amazing also is the technology behind it. So, as you mentioned, what are the basic technologies that you use to put the greens and water in the desert?
3 things that we do: tourist, agriculture, and 13 is the solar power.
yeah, I know them.
Yes, we use the sun for electricity.
Jaffa Tel Aviv. Okay, there was a hill here, and the city, the old city of Jaffa, for centuries, because once you are on a hill, and here you had a little port, now only for fishermen, you're in control. In control of the area, control of the roads, you know, and that's why it was important. All over around what you see under was sand dunes. Nothing, camels, nothing, only until 1909, when this became too crowded because all the Jewish people came from Europe, and this became too crowded, and they said, all right, we're going to build a new city, the first Hebrew city. Tel Aviv means the hill of spring. Spring as a new beginning, as a renaissance. Okay? A new thing. So that's all Tel Aviv. If you're quiet for a second, you hear the hum of the city. Like when you go to Manhattan, you know, it's like you hear the buzz of the city.
Vibe.
Yeah, because it's a very active. Only if you come here on a Saturday, it's quiet. But the rest of the week, and today is Monday, it's active. It doesn't stop. Yeah, for a second. Top fashion, top cuisine, top business. The only opera house in Israel. The house of the Philharmonic Orchestra is in Tel Aviv. Everybody comes to, you know, it's the center.
It's also the
like
commercial,
our Manhattan. Everything.
commercial and financial hub.
Absolutely. High tech, everything. I mean, that's the center of Israel. For many, whatever. And you all the time see cranes, all the time building more and more towers to up because there is no space. But here, you see, it's nice. And to come here also, especially for the sunset, it's amazing. And in the summertime, we have concerts here and shows, you know, and all kinds of things. The building there, for example, you see in the center, was the tallest building in Israel for years. I remember as a child.
What is the name of the building?
The building, the Shalom Tower.
Shalom Tower.
The Shalom Tower. And we used to go up to the balcony there and look around. Today, there's so many high-rises that are
Booming
way more higher than this one. But it was for many years. And it actually was built on the first school of Tel Aviv.
That one, the Shalom?
Yeah. The Shalom Tower was built on top. Well, after, you know, it moved, the school moved. They built the tower, but before they built the tower, there was the first school of Tel Aviv. Okay. But what happened here? The city grew, buildings, and this little neighborhood was kind of falling apart. But it's a perfect location. And very beautiful little quaint alleys you will see. So people identified the opportunity in real estate. And they started purchasing the old buildings and make it beautiful buildings like you see. A process which I told you, it's called gentrification. And now the real estate here is booming high-rise. Okay, it's like very expensive.
Ah, that's why Gal Gadot is also living here.
Exactly. That's why you ask.
Yes.
She lives here. Many celebrities live here because it's like the posh area now of Tel Aviv, Neve Tzedek. You will see why. It's in the center of town, close to the beach, close to everything, but still very artistic.
O ang Justice of Righteousness ay isang komunidad dito sa timog kanluran ng Tel Aviv. Itinuturing ito na unang Jewish neighborhood na itinatag sa labas ng dating lungsod ng Port of Jaffa. Ang ilan umano sa mga kilalang residente nito ay ang mga kontrobersyal na Russian oligarch at may-ari ng Chelsea Football na si Roman Abramovich at ang aktres na si Gal Gadot. Jaffa is an ancient seaport related to the biblical narrative of Jonah and the whale. It includes the fisherman's port, old city, house of Simon the Tanner, and flea market.
Carmel is the mountain we went on in Haifa, right?
That's right.
But in Hebrew, Carmel comes from Carmel, which means the vineyard of God, means a fertile place. Because up there it rains a lot. So when the people who built this market first in 1909, after they built Tel Aviv for fruits and vegetables, they said because the fruits and vegetables come from fertile land, we'll call it the Carmel market, and the name stayed. And so today it's not very busy. It becomes really, really busy on Thursday and Friday because people buy everything for the Sabbath, and then it closes Friday afternoon. If you come here on Saturday, it's closed and opens again on Sunday morning. What we are going to do, we are going to walk in the main alley, okay? From one end to the other, okay? It's not too much, and you can see the variety. If you want to stop somewhere, just tell me so I'm not going to lose you.
Okay.
Right? And also, it's like only one way to the end.
Ang mahigit 100 taon na Carmel Market ang pinakamalaking palengke dito sa Tel Aviv. Halos lahat ng kailangan ay mabibili dito mula sa damit, pagkain, electronics, souvenirs. May food tour din para sa mga turista para matikman ang ipinagmamalaking mga pagkain ng Tel Aviv. Ang diskarte dito sa Nachalat Benjamin Market ay ang pedestrianized style ng pagtatayo ng mga tindahan. Ginawa itong street market simula noong 1987.
Alam namin ang iyong pagsisikap. Dama namin ang iyong mga sakripisyo. Kita namin ang pagharap mo sa bawat pagsubok. Kaya sa kabila ng mga hamon ng buhay, nandito kami para umalalay. Kasi katulad mo, gusto rin namin ang magandang bukas para sa kanya. Hatid namin ang dekalidad na edukasyon at makabagong pasilidad sa abot kayang halaga. Kaya huwag ka na mangamba. Sasamahan ka namin tuparin ang mga pangarap niya. Maaasahan mong sulit dito ang mga pinagsikapan mo. Sa aming mga makabagong pasilidad at sistema ng edukasyon. Mailalabas natin ang aking talino at mga kakayahan niya. Kahit sa munting halaga, makakasiguro ka na makakasabay siya sa mabilis na pag-ikot ng mundo. Sa New Era, karamay mo kami sa bawat hamon. Kaagapay mo kami sa bawat hakbang. Kasama mo kami sa bawat ngiti at tagumpay.
It's very dead. 32% salt.
32%.
Salt as opposed to 3% in the ocean. But not only salt, a lot of minerals, good minerals, which we have factory, and we take all the minerals like magnesium, potash, bromide, you know, for agriculture, for medicine. But all the way, I want you to notice how the sea went down. You can practically see how the water was much higher once. Another result of the sea going down are formation of sinkholes. You know, sinkholes?
Yes.
And suddenly the earth collapsed.
Yes.
We will see it further.
And then you said yung 1 meter every year na nawawala.
More than 1 meter goes down. Why? Because global change, global warming, plus, I mean, what nourishes the sea? Rivers. Floods sometimes come down the mountain. Floods. When it rains in Jerusalem, doesn't rain here. Rains in Jerusalem because it's very steep. The water goes down quickly, create a flood, and it goes into the sea. We found means to block the water and take them to irrigation or, you know. So not only we, the other side of the sea, we share the sea with Jordan. The border between us and Jordan goes in the middle of the sea. So the other side, which now we can't see, it's too hazy, but on the way back you will, in the afternoon, it's Jordan. And they do the same thing. The Jordan River comes into this. But when it used to be a lot of water, but now people take the water before it gets here. And so it's going down. Very sad, because it's a real world treasure, the Dead Sea.
Beach is the northernmost beach in the Dead Sea. It has a 360-degree view over the Judean and the Jordanian desert and the Dead Sea. Buhay na buhay ang turismo dito sa Dead Sea, ang kinikilalang lowest point on Earth. Maliban kasi sa international tourists, mismong ang mga Israelis ang madalas na laman ng destinasyong ito, lalo na kung gusto nilang mag-relax ng ilang araw. Kaya raw ito pinangalan ng Dead Sea ay dahil walang isdang kayang mabuhay dito dahil sa sobrang alat ng tubig. Bahagi ito ng mahabang border sa pagitan ng Israel at Jordan. sound and light shows na ipinapalabas sa mga pader ng Tower of David, ang Night Spectacular at ang King David. Ikinukwento ng naturang mga palabas ang kasaysayan ng Jerusalem gamit ang modernong teknolohiya. Panoorin natin. See, hear, and experience the spectacular sound and light show at night, performed in the ancient ruins and background of the Tower of David. The Night Spectacular is presented in a universal language of sound and pictures and is suitable for people of all ages and nationalities. The theater is located outside under a starry sky, and warm clothing is required all year. The sound and light performance transports the audience through historical periods and significant events that shaped the modern metropolis.
Pilipinas at saan mang panig ng mundo, ihanda na ang shopping list nyo dahil narito na ang online shopping show kung saan ang hanap nyo, meron dito. Narito na ang Shopping All the Way with Jojo A. Eat na hit? We have it! May sayawan, tawanan, pati naiyakan. Pati pets nyo mag-i-enjoy dito. But wait, there's more. Dahil pati celebrity sellers, makikipag-online selling din. At hindi lang yan, dahil may chance kayong makabili ng collectible items mula sa inyong mga paboritong artista. Kaya what are you waiting for? Add to cart na! Shopping All the Way with Jojo A. Opening soon sa Net 25.
Welcome to Open for Business. Today we have Sophia Pincas, the Director for Asia of the Israel Ministry of Tourism. How are you, Sophia?
Hi, how are you doing?
Perfect.
I'm very happy to see you here post-pandemic.
Okay, now I go straight to the questions. During the year before the pandemic, Israel accommodated more than 4 million tourists, and we know based on our research that that's about $6.5 billion in revenue. Now, with the lighter restrictions, what's your outlook? Are you looking at better figures this time?
Actually, the year previous to the pandemic was a record year for the Israeli tourism. We were hoping to break another record during the 2020, but unfortunately everything stopped, and we had to change this plan. And now, once we're open, we're hoping to get back to those figures. Mm-hmm. And obviously, this will be shorter. It will be a slower year than we would hope so. But we expect it to overcome the travel trade, to overcome the obstacles of the pandemic, and to revert to previous numbers at least, and during the next years to break another record.
Wow. I was listening to my friend Victor earlier when he was asking you questions. He said there might be some strategies, new strategies that you have implemented or that you will implement because of the pandemic. Are there new systems, new marketing innovations that you are going to do to attract people who will come? Because of course a lot of us are, some of us are still afraid, although we are fully vaccinated with boosters. So what are your marketing strategies to promote Israel pre-pandemic?
Actually, Israel is very safe post-pandemic. Israeli public is very vaccinated. Almost everyone who is able to be vaccinated were vaccinated. As you can see in the streets, we removed the masks. We removed almost all the restrictions. Only in specific places you need to wear a face mask. The travel is free. Restaurants are open. The attractions are open. We feel like there was no pandemic, actually, when you walk the streets of Israel at this point.
Yes.
If you noticed, yeah. And I don't want to speak about strategy, but I do feel that every believer from Philippines and other places, Israel should be the first place to visit after this difficult time of pandemic. It would be the place to be thankful for saving them, for their health. It would be the place to feel the power. And I think it's not a strategy, but it's a feeling. Who could be lucky enough to feel the victory of the pandemic in the Holy Land?
Wow, I'm having goosebumps as you say that. But I agree with you. But from the eyes or from the perspective of other people, they think that Israel is just pray. But I think yesterday, and when we were touring the different places, you can do all three: work, pray, and party. So is
right.
that also the kind of a strategy or some sort of a way for you to tell Israel that it's more than the biblical places, historic places, but it's a place for people to enjoy, like Tel Aviv.
Yeah, Israel is a place to feel good for everybody, spiritually, and also to enjoy your time on earth. It's a place where you can eat very well, you can party very, very, very well, and obviously you can have the spiritual attraction, the spiritual activity that you're looking for and that people dream of. You can party everywhere, you can eat well in a lot of places, but here you have all the three. And this is the unique treasure that we have in Israel. Also the Holy Land and also the party land.
Now, with the influx of tourists coming from everywhere, I hear, these concepts about revenge shopping, revenge traveling. So how is your department, how is the Ministry of Tourism preparing for the influx of more tourists?
We're ready. We're ready to welcome the coming tourists and travelers after the pandemic. Actually, during this time, for more than 2 years, we had the chance to renovate, to work on the places that needed to be renovated. And I think that we are more than ready to accept the travelers again.
Another factor, Sophia, is that we're looking, this is not only Israel, but the whole world, somehow is affected by the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And with this, what do you think, how are you affected? Because we know based on data, there's a lot of Russians and people from Ukraine who travel here. Is this somehow, giving a dent on the tourist figures?
I think that thanks to the pandemic, maybe, we've learned that nothing is constant. We can't rely on anything. We need to be always dynamic and to rethink our ways. And I'm sure that we'll be able to overcome this challenge also.
Another factor, Sophia, is that when we were, with the anticipation of people, of tourists coming here, there are some reports that not only here, but there could be shortage of tourism workers. How are you addressing that?
Actually, there is a shortage in workforce in many fields. I think that it should be addressed as we go on and we see that there are more tourists. We're now not in the, unfortunately, we're not in the full capacity of the travelers here. So I believe that it will be fixed when we arrive to the point that it needs to be fixed.
Now, Sophia, I'm nearing with my final question. With Israel, with the state of Israel, we see how the government and the people are very supportive of this industry. Is this something that is really highlighted by the government? Is this something that are there subsidies by government, new programs, new tourism or tourist packages for, like say for example, for Filipinos who want to come over now, you know, it's cheaper or it's better, it's more affordable, it's more exciting. What are those, Ms. Sophia?
It's definitely more exciting. After 2.5 years being unable to arrive, everything is more exciting. Though we do have some programs to bring here more air carriers, to renovate hotels for investors that are international chains and local investors, to build new hotels, to renovate hotels here, to enable travelers to stay here for affordable prices.
We are very fortunate, the Philippines is very fortunate that we are visa-free because of the relationship between Israel and the Filipino people. Can you describe more about this relationship from your perspective?
Sure. Actually, thank you for mentioning. The visa-free issue is a game changer for the Philippines to travel to Israel. Not everybody in the Philippines are aware of the fact that you don't need a visa to enter Israel. We have a long and good relationship between the two countries that allowed us to avoid the visa from Philippines to Israel. And it makes the travel here more welcoming and easy for any Filipinos.
And if you can invite them, Ms. Fia, Filipino viewers are watching, small businessmen, CEOs are watching now. What is your invitation to Filipino people?
Dear friends, please come visit us, pray with us, eat with us, play with us, party with us. We are here, we are waiting for you. We had a long time with the closed borders. We are so excited to open them and to welcome everybody.
In one word, how do you describe Israel tourism?
Fun, fun, fun.
That's 3 words. And,
That's fun.
and in one word, how do you describe Israel as a country, as a state?
Amazing country.
That's Ms. Sophia of Israel's Ministry of Tourism. Open for Business. We'll be back. This has been a very exciting conversation, and I hope to explore more of the state of Israel. And it's a beautiful country with its historic, breathtaking places. A beautiful country, and I hope everyone from the Philippines will just book your ticket because it's visa-free. Open for Business. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Araw-araw may bagong kaalaman. Dahil sa Tony Knows, everybody knows! Your Kuya Tony Petgaba na hindi naubusan ng tips. Siyempre, from DIY to life hacks, sagot ko na yan. Saan ka pa? Let's all play together. Let's have fun together. Tara na, sumali at makigulo sa aming kada challenge. Sa kada umaga, kompleto na ang inyong umaga.
After 2 years, the Philippine Sports Stadium lights up once again for the biggest musical event of the season. We're bringing back the excitement, the loud cheers, and the electrifying music. Featuring powerhouse performances from Verse 1, Aya De Leon, Bini, Calista, Christoph Someru, December Avenue, Dion, Glock 9, Magnus Haven, Matthias, and the Itchy Worms. Summer Blast 2022, hosted by Bea Pinene, Maureen Shrivers, and Empoy Marquez. Don't miss the Grand Summer Musical Spectacle, Part 1 on June 4 and Part 2 on June 5, 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. right here on Net 25.
Frequently do you go through your skincare routine? The personal care and cosmetics has been drastically changed by the millennials.
After all, this is the generation that grew up watching online instructions and following influencers. A skincare routine may appear to be time-consuming, but the measures for proper skincare are not only vital, but also simple to follow. What are the ways that millennials discuss and choose skincare? Friends' recommendations? Yes. Watching and reading product reviews? Of course. It is no surprise that Gen Z and millennials are known for their skincare knowledge.
But have you heard of the Dead Sea?
Here in Israel, the powerhouse skincare routine you could do is rejuvenate in the Dead Sea. Dead Sea beauty products are always proven to be beneficial among the natural beauty products that women have been trying with for years. The Dead Sea is rich in minerals and salts that are necessary for beautiful and healthy skin. Sustainable, organic, and non-toxic skincare isn't simply a fad. Because of the high salinity, I knew I would float in the water. What should I do with buckets of raw Dead Sea mud lining in the shore? To put it on, of course. You know why it's called Dead Sea, right? Because it is devoid of any living things.
Everyone tries to keep their skin in good shape.
But nothing beats a trip to the Dead Sea. A large body of evidence supports claims that Dead Sea mud can aid with pain, inflammation, and other ailments. Visiting the Dead Sea area, which has become a major center for health research and treatment, has been a terrific experience for me.
I am Jasmine Agustin for Open for Business, and thank you for coming to the Dead Sea with me.
Welcome to Mobile Legends!
Open for Business is back, and our buzzword of the week is invisible trade. An invisible trade is an international transaction that does not include an exchange of tangible goods, customer service outsourcing, overseas banking transactions, and the medical tourism industry are all examples of invisible trade. In fact, any transaction that is associated with a value but not with physical goods could be called an invisible trade. Maraming salamat sa inyong panonood ng Open for Business. Samahan ninyo kaming muli sa Open for Business sa susunod na linggo, keeping you informed and open for business anytime, anywhere. Be ahead of the curve from vision to action. Panoorin din ang programang OFB sa Facebook at YouTube. Mag-like at mag-subscribe sa aming social media at Net25 TV. Para sa Open for Business, ako po si Cesar Vallejos mula sa Israel.